would you say are some of your thoughts on the upcoming presidential election, and what effect do you believe it will have on immigration?
Who wins will have a massive impact on immigration. So there's this interesting thing about we're going to reach this point where if Trump is successful in dramatically reducing the number of immigrants, legal and otherwise, in this country, particularly on top of the negative economic effects of the coronavirus, we're going to have our economy, even without the coronavirus, would come to a screeching halt. And without massive amounts, again, of government money, the economy wouldn't be able to function. I'm not entirely sure that the immigration question is going to go away with the next election. Actually, I know it won't. I don't think that with the election of anybody who is not ever named as a potential Democratic nominee, from Elizabeth Warren to Julian Castro, if they were to win, I don't think that would remove it. If anything else, that would increase our attention being paid to immigration and otherizing, because we are currently in a incredibly contentious backlash period as far as race and racial resentment goes.
If Trump were elected for another 4 years, what do you think this would have, or what impact do you think this would have on immigrants in the U.S. now, and how will this impact future immigrants, if any?
Massive decrease in immigration from pretty much everywhere but Europe and some countries in Asia, very select countries in Asia. So I think our numbers overall would decrease. Our refugee resettlement program would probably all but stop. It basically has all but stopped already. For immigrants here, I would not be surprised if there was a continued rise in hate crimes, because that's what we've seen over the past couple of years, is a dramatic rise in hate crimes against communities of color. And that would continue because, again, there is no real distinction between in the larger public's eye, there is no clear distinction between racial groups and immigrant groups. And so, but with immigrants being the more vulnerable populations, they are also the least likely, or they're less likely to ask for help or to call police or to press charges, which then increases the likelihood that these behaviors will continue because the perpetrators aren't being punished. And then that ripples out into the larger community, because if you're willing to kill a woman and her 3-year-old child because they're Chinese, then you're probably really not paying that much attention to whether or not they're citizens. And so it has larger community level impacts. But yeah, so overall decrease in the number of immigrants, legal and otherwise, declining quality of life in some regards. In some ways it won't change at all. Some of this is just reality. Like for people of color in certain areas, you just know what the risks are, and it's normal and it's normalized. Like being in New York City, you know that there are train accidents and there are terrorist attacks, large and small, and there are crazy homeless people on the street. And that's just part of everyday life. And if you're from someplace else, that seems terrifying and new because you're not used to it. And then on the other hand, living in New York is amazing because you have all of these great benefits. And so same thing for immigrants, right? They're vibrant, amazing, successful communities that are partially or largely immigrant, and they will continue to do that and continue to thrive and continue to be strong and do amazing things for their community and their cities and the country. And that won't stop.